Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody! This podcast proudly presents to you the zero-time tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg, JJ Brownlee, the Badass, JB Faulkner, Total Spotfest Live, with the ninth wonder of the world, Nick.
And welcome back to Total Spotfest Live. I am JJ Brownlee, and with me, as he is every Tuesday and Thursday, is JB Faulkner.
Hello, my fellow Smarks.
From Marks to Smarks they go. Oh, very nice.
High quality. High quality.
High quality, indeed. And we are joined by a man, that's it, the ninth wonder of the world, Nick.
One can't simultaneously be just a man and the ninth wonder.
Somehow you pull it off, though, and we don't know how. That's why you are the ninth wonder, because you pull that off.
Then we're making history here.
Now you're a man, a man.
Well, we are just dropping the Trey Parker and Matt Stone references left and right here. I tell you what, you can tell what generation we're from. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us again. As we made mention last time, we are moving to split brands a little bit on our podcast. So the Thursday podcast is our first AEW podcast, AEW and other wrestling, primarily non-WWE. We're going to do a little news tonight, so we're going to talk about some WWE-esque things, but primarily dealing with the world of AEW. So thank you for joining us. You can join the conversation. Follow us on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Look for us on YouTube. Search for Total Spotfest Live. Give us a like, subscribe, comment. Let us know how we're doing. Any words are welcome. We appreciate all your feedback. Nick and Jamie, how you guys been? How you been doing? Don't jump at the same time.
Wow,
here, guys.
yeah.
It's okay.
I was waiting for Nick.
Wow.
I was waiting for Nick because usually Nick goes before I do, but fine. I'll just take it.
Well,
It's having a day.
You know, I was just wondering. I didn't want to jump right into anything, but I was a little taken aback. Was Cody Rhodes wearing a cod piece tonight?
He borrowed Tamina's.
I didn't look at his crotch that hard, so I can't say.
Yeah. No, yeah, I wasn't looking at his crotch at all. I was more...
Well, I was kind of asking how your day went, but since you went straight to codpiece, I think
My day has clearly been very uneventful.
Yeah. He was hanging out the Blue Oyster, for all of you Police Academy fans.
Well, you're taking it way back.
I know.
Jamie, I know you're doing well. One of your daughters had a birthday today, so
Yes.
that's wonderful.
Yes, publicly, happy birthday, Audrey.
Happy birthday!
She is 6 years old.
Did you just mess up your daughter's name?
No, I always call her Audrey.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's something I call her Audrey, because that's how she used to say her name, and now it's Audrey. She actually can say it, but like Jessica says Jeckanay, because Jessica Renee is her name, so Jeckanay. So anyway.
Do you buy that, Nick, or you think that's a cop-out? I think he's trying to catch himself.
No, I believe it.
Okay, well then, touche.
So Audrey turned 6 today, so she's pretty pumped. We went to the old Texas Roadhouse because that's where she wanted to go. Yeah,
Is that where you can throw the peanut shells on the ground?
yeah, but they don't have any peanuts right now because of COVID.
What the?
Yeah, yeah. So, but they still have their warm rolls. So you still got their rolls, and their rolls are fire. Their rolls.
At least there's that.
Should have brought
Do you
your
get
own.
to throw those?
I mean, it's not Lambert's, but sure. For any of those who don't know what Lambert's is, it's the home of the throwed roll. Not thrown, throwed roll.
That's going to be southeast Missouri down near the Boot Hill for you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I apologize for
Bruce
my
Pritchard
terrible southern douche.
country.
I went out for
Bruce
girl.
Pritchard loves a throwed roll.
Oh, we're not. No.
Y'all say my name?
Bruce. No. I went out with a girl from Sykeston, which is where the original Lambert's is, and yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. Lambert's, sure.
Overrated.
It was, and moving swiftly along here. So we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite's Go-Home show for Revolution. It was Dynamite-Crossroads tonight. Before we get into that, I'm going to spend just a couple minutes here because we were talking a little earlier today, the three of us, and with Mania coming up, there's always a plethora of other wrestling. This is like the Christmas of wrestling seasons, if you would. All the other wrestling promotions try to capitalize on the hype around Mania. Tampa Bay would be the place to be if you're a wrestling fan. WrestleMania week, there's going to be all sorts of independent promotions signings, even with COVID, because it's Florida, so you can whatever. Nobody cares down there. If you're from Florida and you do care, I apologize, but there's all sorts of stuff going on. So the next 6 weeks are chock full of wrestling just in general. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about some news that happened here. So first of all, I want to talk about, it's very apropos with the exploding barbed wire death match as your main event at Revolution this Sunday, that one of the bigger deathmatch promotions, ICW, that is insane championship wrestling, if you're not familiar, had their double show this past Saturday, no holds barred. The first show, it was 2 full shows filmed in one day, which, if you were working that, insane, because the first one was in the fight pit, so it was inside, had a whole cage structure set up and everything, and just straight death match the whole 9 yards. Then they had an outside show after that in the evening, where the ring was like one of those old school backyard deathmatch rings. If you're not familiar with deathmatch, I highly recommend following ICW on Twitter. You can also find them on IWTV, Independent Wrestling Television. It is craziness personified. And our good friend Gary J was wrestled twice, so he wrestled in both the indoor and the outdoor matches. He was 1-1, FYI, for the weekend. Way to go, Gary. Some crazy, stupid, sick spots. Like a Canadian destroyer into a pane of glass propped up against the ropes. And I say ropes because they were actually just chains. The outside ring had chains instead of ropes.
Were there any barbecue skewers to the face?
I didn't actually watch the whole thing. I literally just sat there because I forgot I was on. I didn't want to pay for it. I'm not going to lie. And so I just basically was following Twitter as it was going on. People kept posting videos. I don't know if there are barbecue skewers to the face. There were lots of tack boards, those those little metal tack things you use for roofing, carpets, carpet tack strips.
Any fire?
There was fire. There was this one guy, Schlack. His name is Schlack. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. He powerbombed somebody off the top of a shipping container onto what can best be described as a pile of crap on top of a fire outside the ring. It was nuts. So there's fire. There was 8,000 light tubes, panes of glass, barbed wire by the kilometer. It was good times. So,
dude, that's one of those things that it's frightening to think that it's happening somewhere in the world, and at the same time you're so grateful when you see it. You're like, oh, I'm so glad this exists.
I know
I'm terrified for everyone who takes part in it, but it's kind of cool that they do.
It's the ultimate guilty pleasure for all you wrestling fans out there. I mean, you sit there and you're like, oh god, this is gonna be terrible. They're just gonna, why would somebody do this to their body? And then you're sitting there like Malcolm from Clockwork Orange, just all saucer-eyed, like I can't look away. This is glorious.
That's a great way to put it.
So no holds barred from ICW. If you need your fix of deathmatch, check it out. IWTV.com. It was pretty good. Going right along those lines here, I have an injury update. So we talked last week about some injuries within NXT. So Casey Catanzaro, they said she broke her leg. We all know that's a work, but it's to cover what actually happened. We don't know when this happened or whatever, but she actually announced it herself too. It was leaked by Dave Meltzer and a few others, but she actually posted on her Instagram and Twitter that she has a partial LCL tear. So one of her ligaments in her knee. It's the same knee that Xia Li did the spot on. So I don't know if maybe I mean, I don't know if that spot was still just brutal looking.
It was awesome.
It hurt. It hurt me watching. I don't think that was where it got hurt, but I definitely think that was the sell to show that it got hurt.
I'm with you. I believe that's what happened, but it could be. But partial LCL tear, so she's out for probably at least 6 months.
So did she specify that, yes, this is the knee that's injured, but what happened?
No, I
was
looked at
not-
the picture she posted online. It's the same knee
I
that
was
got
gonna
hurt.
say.
Yeah, she actually posted a
little
small
unnecessary.
video. She posted a small video of her.
I'm looking at her Twitter. It's not maybe her Instagram has a video. This is just a picture of her in the doctor's room wearing a mask here. Good job this time, Casey. She got in heat for not wearing a mask last time on Twitter. But
That cancel culture's out there, man. Be careful. Hashtag Dr. Seuss.
well, I'm not going to get into that at all. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
What
Or
about
Nick's dick.
What about red pole? Red pole? Blue pole? One pole, two pole?
We're going to start recording our video sometime so you can see the disdain in my face at times whenever Jamie throws this at me. Anyway, no, she's on the exam table, and it's the same way. Anywho, LCL tear, partial LCL tear. So it's serious. It's not a full tear. So it's not the whole, like, you're going to be gone for, like, 9-10 months, but probably at least, I would say at least, 3-4 months minimum.
Yeah,
probably.
as somebody who has suffered a torn ACL in my day, it is a part since it's partial tear. Putting on my fake doctor hat because I'm totally,
So qualified.
so qualified or clarified. I'm so clarified in Braun Strowman's terms, but yeah, it's probably
Clarified.
yeah, it's probably a 4 to 6 month because the LCL is the lateral crucial ligament, and that is the one that goes across for anybody who does not know.
Left to right, not forward to back. Okay. So she's going to be out for a few months. And along with that, interestingly enough, the other injury news that I wanted to talk about was MSK. So MSK, they had a spot where they were jumped by the grizzled young veterans.
Diaper duo.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
Hold on, you know who does like the grizzled young veterans?
Oh,
Does Vince
God.
like him?
No.
Vince
so,
hates him.
so Lee, one of the I am not letting you get this in. Not tonight. Not tonight, Satan.
Man, I tell you what, I sure do like this.
So
grizzled young
Wesley, the man who we all agreed is not human. I
lost my damn headphones.
He legit broke his hand, and he broke his hand at Takeover. It was reported. So that's not a work. That's the whole deal. So anywho, so those are the updates for that. Speaking of NXT, so it was announced. Not really announced, but it was leaked today. Multiple sources have said that on the February 24th earnings call, whatever it was, that apparently there's a lot of talk about NXT moving to Tuesdays on USA, which I'm not going to lie is what I've been clamoring for I don't know, a year. But it surprises me still nonetheless.
Agreed. I'm right there with you, and I think NXT moving is a smart move for them because
For everybody.
everybody wins with this. I mean, yes, this is 100% strategic, more towards NBC Sports is going away. I can't say it today. Sorry, guys. NBC Sports going away. It's 100% strategic there. And plus, like, AEW's been waxing that ass pretty much the whole freaking time that they've been on.
And the two largest rated NXT shows, I looked this up. The two largest rated total number of viewership shows NXT's had in the past year was those two nights where they were on Tuesday night.
Because
This makes sense. This is a win-win.
yeah, because people like us three, are exactly why. Because we like NXT and we like AEW. and you can't watch them both at the exact same time.
Yeah, I'm not spending that much money to have 2 TVs and 2 separate feeds coming in. It's not going to happen.
I mean, I'm a mark at a pretty high level, like level 26 Thunder Dragon mark, but I'm not a level 99 Paul Bearer smark, with intimidating shout. I'm not that guy.
Yeah. So I thought for sure that they were going to hold off and then move it to Peacock, but there's been little tricklings of some, and I don't know how much to believe of this. There were some tricklings about what to expect with WWE on Peacock. We'll get more of an idea with that coming up in the future. I think that's still a possibility, but then again, USA, I mean, their big thing with the NBC Sports moving is going to be some college sports, but primarily the NHL, because they have the first tier broadcast rights for the NHL, and the playoffs will be starting here probably in late April, early May, I think it is. The playoffs will be starting. I'm a big hockey fan, so I'm super excited for it. But yeah, and Wednesday nights are Wednesday night hockey night in America. So we knew this was happening. It's just interesting that they're moving to Tuesday. And once again, this is all not confirmed. It's all reported, but it's been reported by multiple people who have a good track record.
Strong sources, if you will.
So that's interesting. Sticking with the Wednesday night promotions for a hot second, AEW stars were supposed to be going, a few of them were going to be going to this Wrestling for the Women promotion that's coming up here on the 20th of March, until Tony Khan found out that one Joey Ryan is apparently going to be there. It was obviously a horrible attempt at a positive PR move by Joey Ryan to go to a promotion that's called Wrestling for Women.
Well, not only so it gets even further, like soap opera style. Not only was he going, his promotion that he created was the one putting it on.
Is that right?
Yeah,
it's gotta be a trap, right? It's gotta be
it's to pay for his lawyer fees,
like a Taken style Liam Neeson trap.
As a former Joey Ryan fan, until I found out how much of a despicable human being piece of shit he is, and then for him to do this, it's like, and I didn't think you could get any lower.
So how deep did everybody else get into it before they figured it out?
People just signed up, from what I heard. I mean, JJ.
They were signing up. They were signing up independently, and they didn't really necessarily. I mean, they're working through other promoters, and they're doing whatever. And so, it wasn't. It was like, I think it was like Brian Cage was one. Mm-hmm. Red Velvet, I think maybe.
Sunny Kiss,
that's right,
for sure.
And Tony Khan said, all right, well, I would be more happy to donate money to this charity, but none of my people are going to be at this event.
Yeah,
flat out.
Then Big Swole commented right after that and said, "No, Joey Ryan's promotion's the one putting it on." And then you saw the what the hells and what the French toast, that kind of stuff, just all over it.
Yeah, I love the drip that Tony Khan's had lately. Kudos to Tony.
God. At first I didn't know. I thought he was just a wrestling fan, a mark just like us, and now I'm like, you got my respect, bro.
Yeah, he's got it. I mean, kudos to him. And I'll talk about him in just one more second here. I got one more thing before my last bit, and then we're going to get to AEW review. So maybe you guys were wondering, probably not because I don't think you watch it, but FYI, the Damian Priest matches on Monday Night Raw are unusually long. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And why is that? Why are there all these cuts with Bad Bunny? You just cuts of him just longly staring outside.
It's Bad Bunny.
It's been we got Metzer and a Bad Bunny reference. Or we got not Metzer. We got what's his face? The guy Bruce
Pritchard. Remember my name.
Not only. Okay.
JJ, at some point, you're just gonna have to acknowledge it.
I'm getting
resistance is futile.
All right, now, okay. So we might be wondering why the matches are as long as they are. So Dave Metzger came out and has said that, and this is not surprising in the least. And this is the reason that I'm fumbling through this, because you know who this came from exactly. But they want to get Bad Bunny as much airtime as possible, so it'll help their Hispanic viewership.
Did you say my name without saying my name?
I pretty much did there.
'Cause you're damn right that's what I did. We don't have very many of the Hispanics who watch Raw, because I think we already talked about my feelings towards them, because I am a racist bigot. But the thing is, he sells lots of merchandise. And I like selling merchandise because that puts money in my pocket, and also the bonus money from the people I'm not allowed to get bonuses. That's why.
It does not surprise me one bit. And then
Nope.
that came straight off of Bruce and Kevin and Vince's desk.
100%.
Oh, let's get them Mexicans watching. That's probably what they said.
Yeah,
Let's get them Mexicans
because they're all
watching.
the same person. Like
Yeah. Damian Priest is Puerto Rican, and so is Bad Bunny.
everything
You
below the United States is Mexico. Like there's not
Right.
even other countries. What's
Oh,
Cuba?
you're not black, but you're dark skinned. Oh, you must be Mexican. That's what they think. That is what they. Okay, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it back in positive vibes. Positive vibes. We don't know that they're that. I mean,
We do.
positive vibe. We do. We really do.
know
Okay,
they're racist.
so no surprise there, but I thought I'd give it to you. Let's go to my final bit of news. Here is some good news. So over the weekend, the Wrestling Observer released their 2020 awards. These are voted on by Wrestling Observer readers, and the long gamut of awards here. And I'm just going to plow through this real fast here, okay? So, Wrestler of the Year, the Ric Flair Award goes to Jon Moxley. Most Outstanding Wrestler, I don't know how that's different, but Most Outstanding Wrestler goes to Kenny Omega. Tag Team of the Year, the Young Bucks. There is a theme to these awards, as you can see here. Best on Interviews, Eddie Kingston. I'll give him that.
Yes.
Promotion of the Year, AEW.
Shocker.
Best Weekly TV Show, AEW Dynamite. You got it.
Shocker.
Pro Wrestling Match of the Year. I don't disagree with this in the least, although I had another one that I was more fond of. But Pro Wrestling Match of the Year, Young Bucks versus Adam Page and Omega at last year's Revolution.
That was a great match.
Yeah. I prefer the Escalada de la Muerte. That was...
Yep.
That might have been 2019 now I think of it.
It was
though.
2019.
Okay. So, touche. But yeah, United States / Canada MVP. Once again, how's this different from top wrestling? Whatever. But United States Canada MVP is Jon Moxley. Japanese MVP is Tetsuya Naito.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Not Tanahashi.
Not Okada.
So,
That's kind
not
of...
Okada. Well, Okada can't win every year, although he
He
should.
should.
He should. Mexico MVP, Rey Fenix. Yes, and more yes.
Yes, that's a hard yes. That's a hard yes.
That's a very hard yes. Europe MVP is Walter. I'll give him that for
I
sure. I love
agree.
me some Walter.
NXT showing up to the house. What's up?
NXT is in the house. Yep. The non-heavyweight MVP, Hiroma Takahashi. Women's wrestling MVP. This one surprised me. I'm not going to lie. Bailey.
What
You know,
the hell is that about?
I don't disagree, though.
I don't disagree with it. She did great work last year, even though everything around her was crap. Her character, because she went from kind of like the emo, whatever, Bailey.
I
emo
cut my
kinda
hair
heel
and I hate
Bailey.
everybody, too.
Yeah, to
Actually have
the
himself-
straight, like, I'm super annoying and I'm picking a fight with a Cole.
So what's the good stuff that she did? Because that blows my mind.
I mean,
Her character work was more on
Ding
good.
Dong
That's what I'm saying.
Hello.
Ding Dong Hello. That was good. She was in
That's
a lot
all
of
it
good
takes?
matches. The feud she had with Sasha, even though it got buried in the crap that was WWE, her feud with Sasha was good last year, and that Hell in the Cell match was very good.
that Hell in the Cell was good. You gotta give that up.
Okay. All right.
Best box office draw. Yeah, he's not going to. I'm moving on.
No, I know.
Best box office draw. I don't understand this at all. But Conor McGregor. Okay, sure. I know there's rumors of him coming to wrestling, but how's this a wrestling award? Whatever. Feud of the year. This one surprised me. Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston.
That only happened for like 3 weeks.
I know, but somehow that got voted feud of the year. I don't know what the other finalists were, so I'm not going to get into it.
I'm going to disagree.
Yeah, as I said, it surprised me. Most improved, Britt Baker. I'll give him that. Most charismatic, easy. MJF is the winner.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yes, sir. The Bryan Danielson Award, which is the best technical wrestler, goes to Zack Sabre Jr.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. Bruiser Brody Memorial Award, which is the best brawler, it's Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
Best flying wrestler, Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
You bet your ass it is. Most overrated.
Ooh.
Now we get that. Now we're starting to get into some of the negative winners.
Here we go. Who from WWE? Who from WWE?
Most overrated, Bray Wyatt.
What?
I know. I didn't. It's not my choice. I'm reading the answers.
WWE is right, and that's where it lands, but it's the wrong guy. You got the wrong
It
guy.
definitely is the wrong guy.
Dude,
but
that's
once again, I did not vote
They
for this.
did that specifically just to stick their thumb in the eye of the fans. That's the only reason they did that.
There's been talk that this whole thing was done by nothing but AEW fanboys, but whatever.
I mean,
Most underrated,
charged.
not surprised here, Ricochet.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, everybody that has ever seen wrestling can say that. Rookie of the year, interesting here, Pat McAfee.
You know, I agree.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Pat McAfee is Mike Gold.
He surprised the crap out of me.
And he
that
can
match,
go.
Yeah, that match against Cole, which I thought was going to be an absolute shit show,
Yeah, was not.
was good.
Yeah, was not a shit show.
And then he did good in the War Games, and his mic skills are come on. So I was not surprised. I was not mad at that at all. Best non-wrestler, give it up for Taz. Yay!
Okay.
Best TV announcer, and I'm happy about this, is Excalibur. He's got dogged on for way too long. He is very good at being an announcer. So
Shut up. Yeah. His Twitter handle, Shut Up Excalibur.
it's great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of him. Okay, so when TNA, oh Jesus, Jamie, when AEW first showed up, and it was him on there, I'm like, who is this guy? Like,
Oh, you never saw him before?
no, I mean, I've heard him and I've seen him.
He was on Ring of Honor
yeah,
TV for
yeah.
a while.
It's been a hot minute, because he was back there in the Kevin Steen days, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and the formation of the Bullet Club, and like when the Bucks were over there, he was on yeah.
yeah, so it's been a minute, and then I see him come on there, and then I didn't like his style in the beginning. I thought it was okay, and then now, like, I would have to say, in the past year, they've got their synergy between JR, him, and Shivani,
Absolutely.
and it's gold. It is gold with what they can do.
It's very good. And him and Taz are good together on Dark. He was
Taz is
excellent.
great.
He was excellent solo announcing during the first round of the Japanese women's tourney. So he's the best TV announcer. The worst TV announcer is Michael Cole. He's probably got a plethora of these for worst TV announcer, because it's boss time. He's in the drop zone. Big dog.
It's the big dog.
Best major wrestling show.
Jesus.
Best major wrestling show
AEW.
was AEW Revolution from last February. I 110% agree with that.
Yep. We watched it in my basement.
Oh, it was so good. Oh god, it was so good. Worst major wrestling show?
WrestleMania.
No. WWE Super Showdown last February is from Saudi Arabia.
I mean, that's not really fair.
Yeah.
Because they're all that
Yeah.
terrible.
I mean, this one was extra terrible. This is the one where the Fiend lost in like 35 seconds to
Goldberg.
Goldberg. So, yeah. The best wrestling maneuver goes to Kenny Omega's One-Winged Angel. Okay, yeah. Most disgusting promotional tactic. And there could have been a plethora of WWE things you could have put here. But the most disgusting promotional tactic, as voted on by the Wrestling Observer readers, was WWE firing people during a pandemic, during a year where they were setting profit records. Yes, 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 yes.
And we're not giving them the bonuses either.
Oh, God. Worst TV show is the 2-horse race, and WWE is the winner. WWE Raw, is the winner of that one. Yeah. So Raw was voted as worst. Worst match of the year. Well, and this one, okay, this one surprised me a little bit. This is a dog shit match, but the worst match should have been The Fiend versus Goldberg from Super Showdown. But as voted on, the worst match of the year was the Braun Strowman versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt swamp fight from Extreme Rules.
It was pretty terrible. It was a cinematic one, and it was pretty bad.
It is a cinematic, and it was pretty bad, but it wasn't as bad as Goldberg. Worst feud of the year, Wyatt versus Strowman. Once again, this is a pick your poison bit. I don't think that was the worst, but whatever. Worst promotion of the year, simple WWE. Best booker, Tony Khan. Promoter of the year, Tony Khan. Give it up for Tony Khan. He's only the third person, I think they said, to ever win that. Both. Best gimmick, Orange Cassidy.
Yes, I love his gimmick. And he's got a new shirt out with the Sistine Chapel. It's absolutely great.
And have you seen, too, on his shopaw.com, they're doing every holiday for the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy cartoon. It's great. There's a St. Patty's Day one now. They had a Valentine's Day, a Halloween, a Christmas. It's glorious.
Yeah, I might do the St. Patty's one.
St. Patty's one's pretty nice. Okay, 3 ones left here. Worst gimmick, The Fiend Bray Wyatt.
Disagree.
I disagree.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That
Ridiculous.
Retribution is the worst damn gimmick. The gobbledygookers are better.
Yes.
If you made the gobbledygooker have a stable, it's better than Retribution.
You nailed it. Best pro wrestling book, The Young Bucks Killing the Business, and best pro wrestling documentary was The Dark Side of the Ring on Owen Hart.
That was a good one.
Yep, well, it won an award, so you're right.
So yeah,
Certified.
So there was also another one on there that I don't know if you saw, but the rookie of the year for the women was Anna Jay.
Oh, they didn't have that listed from the thing I was looking at.
Yeah, the only reason I know that because I looked at the same thing you did. We must have been on the internet at the same time or whatever. But Anna Jay posted it on her Instagram and her Twitter. And
that's right. I remember that. Yeah,
she's rookie of the year. It was right
I agree
after
with
the
that
pictures
too.
with her and Tay Conti, and they're matching their things. Not that
I agree with that too. The thing is, it's a lot harder because women have to. They got to go through the grind. Unfortunately, they got to go through the grind a little bit more to get up to where they are. Like Candice LeRae was on the indie circuit for like 8 years before she got in NXT, and so I mean, like you can't say that actual rookies is very rare, and Anna Jay by far is give that to her for 100%. So that's some news. That's the Wrestling Observer Awards were interesting, very AEW dominant, but for a reason. And speaking of that reason, Jamie, why don't you talk about AEW, specifically what happened last night on AEW Dynamite Crossroads?
So Crossroads, I'm just going to call it now, was a banger of a show. It didn't have big 5-star matches. This is one of the very few AEW Dynamites that didn't have a 5-star or 4-star style match that was just blow your mind amazing. But it had a lot of perfect go-home segments. And for me, that's what got it there for me, because it was not the wrestling. For the first time, I can say it wasn't about the wrestling. It was more about the promos for AEW. That's
a rarity for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they started off with a match which I felt was very dangerous to start with this match.
I couldn't believe they started with this match.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So Cody and Red Velvet versus Shaq and Jade Cargil. And this is all I gotta say. One, Shaq and Jade came out of the heel tunnel, which made me very happy because it set what they were gonna be. And Shaq
Jade's a
still
heel.
looked huge.
Yeah, I could not believe. I forgot
He
how
looked in
big
great
he was.
shape.
Well, yeah. Oh, the thing is, like, you always see him around other NBA people. You know, it's like where I'm considered a big guy by our standards. I would be maybe a point guard at best. You know, so seeing him around average sized human beings again is like, oh crap, he's big.
Yeah, like and Cody's not short either, but he made Cody look like a dwarf, man. He was just huge on him. And then Jade Cargill comes out. My God, like we all knew that she was shredded. Like I'm gonna say it, she's more shredded than Julian Sal, man. Like she didn't have a 6-pack, no. She didn't have an 8-pack, no. She didn't have a 12-pack, no. She had a 24-pack. Just muscles on top of muscles on top of muscles on her stomach. Like
I'm gonna let you get into this match a little more, but I have things to say about Jade Cargill. So keep going.
yeah. So I mean, looks alone, like she's got the look. Like Bruce Pritchard would be salivating all over her. And definitely we know what Vince would. She's blonde, so there you go. Vince is in. So. Anyway, so the match goes on. It starts off with Cody and Shaq. They go around and Shaq just smacks the hell out of Cody's chest like a few times and actually made it red for the entire match. Like that's how hard he was hitting him with it. It looked pretty good. Then they brought in Red Velvet and Jade Cargill. Those two did most of the wrestling, and I think that was twofold. I think one is because Shaq is not a real wrestler, and he really can't, he needs to conserve energy. And two, Cody still got that shoulder injury, and he wasn't doing a whole lot with that arm. You could tell. So I'm not going to get into like pacing and everything. It was okay in that aspect. Jade actually, for my opinion, I thought she looked pretty good in the match for somebody green. Like she didn't sell, like she's still very, very green. She's only been doing this less than a year. So I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. Okay. So there was this one point in the match where Red Velvet does come off the ropes and does a cross body.
Yes, I know.
And then Jade Cargill rolls up with her and just sits right up with her, no problem. Like just picked her up and does a follow-away slam with her. Just rolled right through it, stood up like it was nothing. Like she weighed like maybe 3 pounds. It looked amazing, physically just awesome. And then right after that, and this is what I said literally when I was watching it, I'm like, if she does a kip up here right after that badass move, I'm a fan. What did she do? Kip up. I was so excited. Like physically just amazing. Then right after that, she put up 2 tables. They put up 2 tables. Like something was going to happen.
She put up one.
She put up one. Red
and
Velvet
QT
put up the other.
put up another.
Yeah. So they put up 2. So obviously we knew somebody was going to go through some tables. And if there's 2 of them, I had a sneaking suspicion who it was going to be.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of surface area to cover.
yes. So there was a spot like again, Red Velvet, and then we're doing most of the stuff. But then Shaq and Cody came into the ring again. Shaq hits Cody with a high knee, basically in the stomach, and then he does. Then Shaq does an homage to Brody Lee. I don't know if everybody caught that. Kissed his lips and put his arms out, and then did a massive power bomb on Cody.
That surprised
beautiful.
the living crap out of me. I was like, "Holy crap! I'm buying Shaq as a super heavyweight wrestler."
Yeah, and then his
As soon as I saw
face
that power bomb,
afterwards-
I'm like, "I'm sold. I'm done."
Yeah, and then after that, his face is like, ooh, like I was like, oh my goodness, it was beautiful. Then they tag in the women because something happens. So the women come in there. Shaq's on the ropes. Jade, I think I think she's. I'm looking at my notes. Yes, she smacked Cody in the face, and then Cody came out and looked right at her, and then he just hightailed it and just did a diving crossbody onto Shaq through the tables.
You guys are big fans of the crossbody, huh?
I mean,
It's one of the best moves in wrestling. I mean, who would? only a complete tool would not like a crossbody.
Hey, okay.
I mean, those types of tools don't even like Dexter Loomis, and we think he's great. But anyway, so that happens, and then Jade's like, "Oh my God, Shaq, are you okay? Are you okay?" And then
Shaq took a pretty good bump on that too.
it looked impressive, and then he's just laying there, like unconscious, just laying there, eyes closed, acting like he's dead. It was perfect, and he sold the shit out of it too. He's just done, like just catching the big, knockout Z's. If anybody's ever knocked out anybody or been knocked out, you know what the knockout snore is, and it looked like he was doing the knockout snore. So Jade is watching. Red Velvet spins her around and does a move on her, gets a 3 count or 2 count. Jade kicks out the last second, and then gets her in what I'm calling, what everybody's referred to as the implant buster or the glam slam, whatever you want to call it. She hits her with that 1, 2, 3. Shaq and Jade get the W.
It didn't look like a straight implant buster from like ODB. It looked a little, or from Kong, Awesome Kong, who did that. I don't know. It looked a little different. Here's my before you get too far ahead. Here's my thing about Jade Cargil. Okay. And with this match, Red Velvet looked stellar. She did a really good looking moonsault onto the outside, where she hit more of Cody than she did Jade, but that's neither here nor there. Shaq looked amazingly better than I ever thought he could. I thought, I know he could sell, but how could he wrestle? And he wrestled. Of the 4 there, my opinion, the worst one was Jade Cargil.
I disagree.
And here's why. I know she's green. And I said before, we got to see her. They're being very careful. They don't want to put too much out there because she is very green in the ring. After seeing her in the ring, I wish they would have showed her maybe practicing more wrestling than playing pickup ball with Shaq, because she would do like a very poor looking kick and then pose for the audience. And then she'd do like 1 or 2 elbow chops or whatever, and then pose to the audience. She was doing a very, very awkward looking figure 4 and flexing for the audience. And I'm like, yes, I know you got more muscles than I could ever hope to have in my life. Freaking wrestle for a little bit, It's like she kept like clamming too much.
Don't you think you're being a little hard on her, JJ?
I mean, it wasn't. You didn't see it because you always don't know this. Nick didn't watch the show tonight. He had a thing he had to do tonight, so he didn't actually see the show.
That's low, man.
I mean, I don't care. I'm just saying, I don't care how good you look.
I thought
You got to wrestle too, and the wrestling lacked. She had a halfway decent spine buster. The finisher did look good. The fall-away slam and the kip-up was nice, but that was literally it. 3 moves the whole night that she did well.
Hey.
The rest of the time, she's just posing for the crowd.
John Cena does well with 3 moves. Just saying.
John Cena can put a better match than Jade Cargil can.
Well, yeah,
flat.
but he's
You
been doing
cannot
it for
disagree.
years, and this is
I understand she's
9
brand new.
months
and
in.
I'm
Prodigy.
I'm not saying she's the worst thing ever. I'm just saying I was a little bit disappointed because I just felt like she just I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way that she kept flexing and going to the crowd 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 and going to the crowd. It's like, okay, yes, I get it. There's
There's
an
no
opponent.
reason to be. There's no reason to be this upset, JJ.
I'm really not.
Just take a breath.
Saying.
Oh, the guy who hates Dexter Loomis and talked about for 45 minutes.
I don't think that she's a serial whatever to people, I just think that, that's my direction I would give her. It's like, hey, not bad first time. Focus more on your opponent than
Yeah.
time into the crowd.
So okay. So you and I definitely looked at it through different lenses.
We did.
Because I looked at it as, what can she do? I was just like, okay, let's see what she does. Did she play to the crowd a little bit much? Yes. Was it more about time probably than actually about, getting over with the crowd? Probably.
And you got to figure you had Cody who's hurt and Shaq who's not a wrestler.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So I gave her the benefit of the doubt there. She is incredibly athletic. Some of her figure four was a little rough, yes. But you know what? She put one on, and actually, like, when she got flipped over, that's when it looked really the worst, because she didn't know that you have to get up both knees and, like, really sell it. But that's okay. That's the green there, and I'll give you that. I'll give you that green piece. But you could see her athleticism and everything. If she keeps working, that woman is going to be a star. I see it.
I don't know.
She's got the potential for it. She does.
I don't think she's going to be that good.
Well, my question is, once again, just like with the other women's division stuff, where do we go from here? Because Shaq's. I mean, is she going to keep feuding with Cody? Because that's been the only feud she's had so far. Red Velvet is literally just a fill-in because Brandy got pregnant.
Well,
that a shame?
I think this Red Velvet thing is not going to end here. I think they're going to keep going, and they're going to keep working, because both of them are really green, and they're working together at the Nightmare Factory. So they'll have
here's the thing: you don't want to put her in a match with Sheeta, because that wouldn't do any good to Sheeta. Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa. I don't know.
Chris Statlander when she comes back.
We'll see.
They're both tall women. Let's go.
I hope the best for her. I just didn't think that this was the best showcase of her.
I thought it was
potential.
a good
We'll
first
see.
step.
We'll see.
I'm here for you.
I thought it was
want
a
to
good
follow.
match myself. I loved it. And guess what? I just checked out the new merch, and I'm thinking of getting a Red Velvet tee. I'm digging it.
Oh, the new Red Velvet tee is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Red Velvet. I'll be on big on her. Okay. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on Jade. So move forward.
So moving swiftly on to the next match, and the funny.
You forgot the disappearing act of Shaq, by the way.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, before this
is
second
weird.
match. So they put Shaq in an ambulance, and he totally pulled an Undertaker, which I thought was kind of funny. And I think that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
So they go to Tony Schiavone, who's gonna I need answers. He just got put in here. Opens it up and no one's there. He's like, oh, he's gone. Oh, okay.
It's like, okay, cheap pop, but sure.
Yeah, it was total cheap pop, and I bet it was probably a Shaq thing. He's like, oh, I want to do it just like Undertaker, and it's like, okay, you're Shaq. We'll let this happen. All right, so literally for as long as we've been talking about Jade Cargil, just alone, is longer than the next match.
It's true.
So,
Very
and the
true.
next match had two banger guys. So it had Pac and Phoenix from Death Triangle versus Jobber number 1, John Skyler, and Jobber number 2, D3. He doesn't even have a real name other than D3, like EC3.
You got their names. I just put down here some jobbers. I didn't even catch who their names were.
Yeah, they said John Skyler, and then they said the guy with D3, really quick. I'm like, what the hell, D3PO? What? What? And I looked it up. So anyway, Pac and Phoenix just absolutely dominate from the jump. Obviously,
It's like a showcase. Like, what can you do in a ring and do it in 2 minutes? Okay.
yeah. So real quick, Phoenix hits one move, and then he was gonna go up to the top rope and jump off onto John Skyler. D3 comes up on the ropes on the other side of the ring. So what does Ray Phoenix do? Oh, he just runs, sprints down the ropes and kicks D3 in the face, tags in Pac. Pac does a 450 splash. Then Phoenix gets John Skyler up on his shoulders and does basically like a Michinoku driver. I mean, or not a Michinoku driver.
I think he calls it the Mexa driver, doesn't he?
Yeah, the Mexa driver. It's the old who did that? Put him on the shoulder and then basically sit down real quick, like that. Bam. I don't remember who.
You're thinking of the shock treatment that Abyss did?
Yes, thank you.
Except it's a little bit different because it's not just straight on your shoulder. He actually turns him around and does sort of a semi-inverted pile driver it was cool. No matter what, everything in this match was cool looking. It just didn't last very long.
Yeah, it left me wanting, but it was definitely a good showcase for those two. Both of them are really damn good. And then once you put when you put Pentagon Jr. in there, it's just gonna make it that much better when all three of them.
So excited to see the return of Pentagon.
Which
God, I'm so excited.
Pentagon was there tonight. His Instagram told me so.
Ooh.
I mean, he got a picture of Shaq. It's like,
Sure. Well, why would you be there when Shaq's there?
Yeah. All right. So, segment of the night is next. I'm just calling it now. This is the segment of the night. And this is the Jericho MJF press conference. So, they do a little video package about how they beat up Papa Buck, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So what was kind of cool was Barstool Sports was there, and basically is a press conference type thing where people would ask them questions, and Jericho and MJF would just, be dicks. That's probably the best way to put it. So, shocker, it breaks down pretty quick, but there are a couple things. The mic didn't work for the first guy, but Jericho was
was funny.
Yeah. Jericho was like, I've won a whole bunch of championships. I'm amazing. Hopefully everybody remembers that I'm a 7-time tag team champion with great partners like Dwayne Johnson, and then and a person that we recently signed in the back and Paul Wright, talking about that.
White.
So yeah, that's great. And then he goes, "Oh well, MJF's better than everybody, and we're gonna dominate." Then Conrad Thompson of Grillin' with JR comes out. He's the next guy, and this is great. This part was probably my second favorite part of this whole thing, because he asks, what are the odds of letting Sammy back into the inner circle after all this happens? And MJF calls him turkey tits. He goes, "Listen up, turkey tits. No, we're not talking about this. Blah, blah, blah." Like, he just goes off on him. And then Jericho comes and is like, "Go back to Nebraska." Even though he's from Oklahoma. It was really a fun segment. And then the next one is another Barstool guy. I can't think of his name, even though
It doesn't matter what his name is.
Yeah, I actually watch him on Barstool all the time. I'm a big Barstool fan.
He was actually one of the pre-announcers for the NXT TakeOver, if I'm not mistaken, in the pre-show.
And then he shows up on AEW, which is, I think, is
ironic.
Great. Yeah. So he comes out and asks them, why they attacked Papa Buck, basically. And they're like, "Well, we didn't." MJF's like, "Well, we didn't. We didn't do that. It was self-defense. He attacked Chris Jericho, blah, blah, blah." And then he's like, "And he got blood on my custom suit. You know how much a custom suit is? All you pores out there." He called everybody pores, which I thought was great. Yeah. Anyway, so then here comes my highlight of the night. EB himself comes out next, Eric Bischoff. And then what does he do? He goes right after Jericho, because those two have a little history. So Eric Bischoff, of course, introduces himself. And then he asks if Jericho knows the condition of Papa Buck, and where does pissing off the Young Bucks rank on his list of bad ideas, his stupid ideas. And that's when it went sideways. Like, of course, freaking Jericho just gets super pissed at him because those two, just have their thing. And
their chemistry is great. It really is.
Yeah. Then Matt and
Nick,
thank you. Why can't I think of that?
Well, because you try to block out the name Nick, which is appropriate. I do too.
Yeah. So
He just knows there can be only one.
What are you, fucking Highlander now? Serious?
That's right.
We're Sean Connery. So Matt and Nick come out and they start talking, and they're like, "You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us. MJF, if our dad didn't do everything that he did for us, then AEW wouldn't exist, and you'd still be in your parents' basement waiting for
This
something.
is where
to
it
do.
got good, people. Just
Yes, this is where it
brace
got really
yourself.
good. And then probably the best dig I think I've heard in a hot minute was the next one. He goes, and Jericho, if our dad didn't do everything, you'd probably be right now jerking the curtain at the performance center right now.
Ooh,
Like, damn.
like you went there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Then it followed up with them hitting super kicks on MJF and Jericho, and then the Inner Circle started beating them down, and then the Good Brothers came out, and then they started wailing on them, and the next thing you know, Proud and Powerful, Ortiz and Santana were a part of the scuffle. They got put on to tables by the Good Brothers, and then Nick and Matt put them through the tables. One was off the top of the entrance, the heel entrance. That was Nick, and then Matt was off of the entrance stage onto the floor. So they put them both through there. It looked pretty damn good. I really enjoyed that.
I did too. I thought it was great. I mean, it was kind of like the same old to start because they'd done the whole, Jericho and MJF press conference before, But then, Bishop's always fun to see. But then, like I said, the Bucks came out and it took a turn from pretty good to awesome real fast.
It's making me look forward to this match.
You forget how good the Bucks are on the mic because they don't really do it as much anymore. They're trying to put other people over, as much as they can. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah, they don't have to be on the mics, and this is the first time.
No, not anymore.
Yeah. So the next match was Jurassic Express coming out to Tarzan Boy, of course, and then FTR and Tully Blanchard coming out to wrestle. It was a good match.
With.
Oh yes, sorry. So since Tully Blanchard's wrestling, they still need a manager, right? So they have none other than J.J. Dillon.
I could not believe I'm sitting there and I'm like, really? You got really JJ? Really?
I know,
oh, so good.
I kind of geeked out about that. So
I definitely geeked out about that.
So this match had a whole bunch of great spots. There's too many to really talk about, so I'm just gonna get towards the end here. There was a spot where Luchasaurus does basically a spinning heel kick onto to Tully in the head, and Tully falls over, and then he sees one of FTR, whatever. And then he's gonna do a jump through the ropes, a tope suicida, right? Tope suicida. God, I cannot talk, guys. I'm sorry. So he does that, and then out of nowhere, the guy taking pictures grabs him and slams him on the ground as he's going through the ropes. And everyone's like, "Well, that's kind of weird. Some guy who's taking pictures did it," and then he crawls off, acting like he didn't do anything. Well, then fast forward 2 or 3 minutes in the match. Again, Luchasaurus is getting ready to do something, and the guy comes up and just bangs him in the head with the camera. And then that sets up the ability for FTR to do a spike pile driver with Tully Blanchard off the second rope, and Tully Blanchard actually gets the pin on Luchasaurus, which I found incredibly surprising. But one of my favorite spots of the night, though, was seeing vintage Tully Blanchard doing the springboard suplex on Marco Stunt. That made me happy.
That was very smart booking, because Marco's probably the only person that Tully could legitimately wrestle, and you could be like, okay, I buy this a little bit.
Yeah.
Anybody else, you just like, why are you doing this to Tully? Don't do this to Tully. But Marco, because he's so small, it worked.
Yeah. So right after that, all those guys are celebrating in the middle of the ring, and then the camera guy comes over and full on pulls the Kenta. I'm calling it the Kenta now. Pulls off his mask and then takes off his hat, and lo and behold, It is Sean Spears.
Finally.
It's about time.
Yeah, so I'm like, holy shit! Like, we got Sean Spears sighting, everybody. Like, we were legit just talking about how we hadn't seen him in forever. I mean, he's probably still. We all thought he was just enjoying life as just being the husband of Peyton Royce, because she is the star of the group. But now looks like he might go from jobber status to.
Oh,
being a
he's
star.
still enjoying life as Peyton Royce's husband.
Well, yeah, but he's trying. Don't
get me wrong there.
Carve out his own thing.
Well, this makes so much sense.
Yeah. So he finally shows up, and then right after that, probably my favorite part. Actually, this is probably my favorite part. Arn Anderson comes out, looks at Tully and JJ Dillon, and throws the 4. And it just made my heart happy seeing the 4 horsemen, 3 of the 4. Well, no Barry Windham, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
Oh, I miss like that was the good old days, like Jim Cornette era, wrestling.
You pull out Jim. I'm not pulling my Jim Cornette out, but there was a couple good spots in the match too. And I said, "There's a lot." To me, this is actually my favorite match of the night. I'm gonna just say that. Lucha's mostly because of FTR, because FTR is so damn good. It's not even funny how good they are, and it just makes you even more pissed about how the Uzi hot crap, which you both saw live here in Kansas City. Luckily, I decided not to go to that Raw show because I had a brain and I didn't care that the tickets were free. I didn't want to see it, but they're so good. Luchasaurus did a double German suplex, and I mean that because he went to go grab one of them. Let's say Dax, and Dax grabs Cash. They do a double German suplex. It looked so good. Jungle Boy keeps getting better and better by the moment. Love him to death. And Tully didn't suck. Tully wasn't just a feeble old man out there. He had a couple of feeble moments, but it was okay. It was good. And finally, the new 4 horsemen, like we've been clamoring for, okay, what do the 4 horsemen always have? There's a tag team, an enforcer, and a star, right?
They're a star away.
They're a star away. And when they get that, it's, oh, God. Yeah. We've seen this iteration before. This is copied in TNA with Ric Flair when he had Fortune, which was AJ Styles, Beer Money, and Kazarian. So,
So the formula is there.
the formula is the same as always, and they've got 3 of the 4 now. Finally.
So I'm hoping. This is what I'm hoping, because this next segment I think might tie into that, and I think they did this on purpose.
Okay.
So the next segment was Tony Schiavone, because he came right out right after that match, and he introduced Paul Wright to the AEW fans and everybody, the millions and millions of fans watching at home. But one thing about Paul Wright, he was wearing a no BS or no more BS. And I
No
love that
more BS was his shirt, which is now available at shopaew.com.
Yes, so
Great.
Big fan of that, because they were promoting their new show, AEW Dark Elevation. I was right; it was Elevation.
I was wrong. You were right. You got it.
For once. I mean, I can't talk today, but I at least got that right. So they were talking about that, and then they were talking about how they haven't seen each other in a long time, and they're glad they're working together. And then Paul Wright, Big Show, whatever you want to call him, the Giant, he says, "You're not the only one who can get big scoops there, Tony." He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, I got a huge scoop. We're going to sign a Hall of Fame caliber talent to AEW contract at Revolution, and it's not who you think it is."
Yeah, that's thoughts. Who do you give me thoughts? Wild predictions. Who do you think it's not? What are your thoughts?
Nicholas, do you have any thoughts? You're awfully quiet today.
I don't have any predictions. There's nobody in flux. There's nobody that I'm really dying to see. make a surprise appearance. So I'm not speculating. I'm just hoping, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it will actually be a holy shit moment. But
Who would you like to see?
Yeah, let's go there.
the Beast Incarnate, I would like to see him.
Okay.
No, I really wouldn't.
I don't know.
Say,
You have his Funko Pop on your desk at the office. I was like, maybe, I don't know. Okay, well,
CM Punk.
Yes.
fucking CM Punk.
Yep. I would love it.
You
for
guys,
the guy.
and yeah, that makes two of you.
Actually, so when he says not who you think it is, I automatically thought outside, because he didn't call him a wrestler, he called him a talent. So it could be anybody. So my head automatically went to Renee Paquette.
That would be good.
You know,
I like that.
You know,
that would
because
be
it's
fantastic.
not who you think it is.
That's a good guess. Yeah.
You know, but obviously she's going to be there and then leave because she's getting ready to pop out a kid. So I went there, and then I went to RVD.
Oh, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
my God. That would be so awesome.
Those were the two that popped in my head. And actually, the Twitter world was going nuts about RVD too, and I jokingly did it. And then next thing you know, I had like 5 people like our tweet about it. Like, and then I look and there's like other people saying it too. It's like, I mean,
Yeah,
the internet
I think-
prophecy has been pretty good lately. So
Well, the two biggest ones that I saw were RVD and, of course, because it's obligatory, even though it's stupid, CM Punk. And yes, here's your hot take. So you want a clip here? Here it is. CM Punk is way overrated, and I wish people would stop clamoring for him to show up all the damn time. He hasn't wrestled in 7 years. He left because he got whiny, and like having a 434-day reign as champion wasn't enough. He wanted more, so he decides to leave WWE. He was not wrong with Vince McMahon and everything, but just kind of the way he did it, just a whiny little bitch. And I could care less to see him return or come to AEW. But that's, of course, where the internet goes first. CM Punk for everything. And then RVD got a lot of hot takes. I tried to think of who it could. I was trying to think more along the lines of who were the last two that they signed. And both surprises were Sting and Paul Wright.
yeah, so you're thinking another legend.
I think it's another one of that ilk. That's who I think it'd be.
Who's left
Mark
of the
Henry?
legends? Oh God, not Mark
mean,
Henry.
Who knows? Well, I mean, who is Hall of Fame caliber?
I will put out a name right now who is not officially signed to where he's at, but he is still working with them right now. Short-term contract.
Okay. Who?
Switchblade.
Damn you! I was just getting ready to say that.
Love you.
I was going across the. Yeah, you beat me. Yeah. I think it's going to be it's either going to be somebody underwhelming, as in like Mark Henry or somebody from WWE, a legend of some sort, or it's going to be like, because I don't think it's going to be Okada. Oh, it's definitely not going to be Okada.
Dude, if
Or-
Okada came, I would poop.
I think I was going for the wrong one. So not Okada, not any of the big New Japan, like Japanese talents, but I think Switchblade. Switchblade is going to be where I put my money, I guess.
What about
That's
Ospreay?
what I think it'll be. Osprey's kind of he's got his own promotion in England. He runs.
Yeah, but
he's
he's
very
been living in
content
Japan,
with
and B. Priestley was there tonight. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did not see B. Priestley there.
I saw her in the next match. Right behind where Vicky Guerrero's sitting, I saw a woman with dark hair and green lipstick and looked exactly like B. Priestley. And I'm like,
Dude, if
that's
it's
B. Priestley.
If it's Osprey, I will mark out. I will throw food against your wall, Jamie, on Sunday if it's Osprey, because
I'll be
that
right there with
would
you.
be. then I'll go get some paper towels, clean it up. We'll see. I think it's either going to be that's my take on it. It's not going to be CM Punk. Please God, no.
He's got beef with Colt Cabana still, so I doubt it.
Whatever. Who cares? He hasn't done jack in 7 years except for get his ass handed to him in an octagon. So, can we, Internet, move on from CM Punk. He's not going to wrestle again.
He's still the best in the world.
No, he's
still
not.
the best.
No,
in the
he's
world.
not. No, he's not.
Still the best.
I am not the CM Punk fanboy. I thought he was good, very good. I did not put him as high, even when he was in WWE, as everybody else did. His stuff in Ring of Honor was phenomenal.
Him and Bryan Danielson.
Him and Danielson. Him and Joe. Him and Joe had a trio of matches that would just knock your socks off.
Mm-hmm. And him and Tyler Black.
But then he got the whole straight edge game, which I know he is whatever. But,
Yeah.
overselling. I could care less about CM Punk. Let's move on.
Okay. So moving on, we are now finally at the moment, the championship of the women's eliminator tournament. That's what I'm just calling it that now. And the winner of this will face Hikaru Shida at Revolution. This match.
It was a match.
This
It
match
a
was exactly what I was expecting it to be.
It was.
It was a little bit better because the funny thing is like we've been seeing Ryo Mizunami fight those Japanese women, and she looks considerably bigger, and then she's in the ring with Nyla Rose, and it's like, oh, you're not.
Here's your
big.
reality.
Yeah, you're not big, lady. Like you gotta sell now, and she actually did a decent job.
She oversold. Like
Yeah.
she did like a whole like minute wind up for like a corner spot. It's like, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just gonna get to the cut to the chase. Ryo hits a top rope leg drop, like Hulk Hogan would be proud, on Nyla Rose, and Ryo Mizunami, as the Internet Prophecy has foretold, is the winner and will face Hikaru Shida at Revolution.
Yeah, whatever.
And so Neo Mizunami here, if everything is true and she is the one, she will win Sunday.
I did hear the match itself is you said all that needs to be said about the match. It was whatever.
Yeah.
Nyla looked good. Nyla looked better.
I
than
was
she has,
worried about
probably.
Nyla. I was, and then she looked great because of her head.
She looked better. Like she's the last couple like this tournament, she's looked better than she has the whole last year. But apparently, I read somewhere that Ryo Mizunami actually was planning on coming over to America regardless. I don't know if that's to be in AEW or just in general. So she was from the start. It was her to win that's why I think the prophecy existed, because everyone's like, well, she's the only one that's actually coming over to America, so of course it's going to be her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's whatever.
So after that, there was a trophy presentation by Shida to Neo Mizunami. I'm referring to her now as Neo. They did a handshake, and then Neo did a forearm shiver to Shida in the face. And by the way, Shida looked really damn good in her white suit thing.
Shida, I like the suit Shida. I like this a lot.
Yeah, professional. I'm a badass, like hitman
It's
style.
it's a good gimmick look. I like it.
Big fan of it as well. Then Shida responds with a forearm shiver and knocks her down, and then Neo got back up and she hit her again. So she stood tall. So we all know with WWE land, if you stand tall on a go-home show, what usually happens? You're losing.
But this is not WWE.
Thank God.
I don't foresee Shida losing, but that's just me.
Well, the internet has prophesized this, and Neo Mizunami is my pick to win.
Well, if you keep following the internet, CM Punk's going to be in every promotion every night. So.
No, they have been like the internet prophecy foretold this at the beginning of this, and I was refusing to listen, and they have been spot on. So I'm giving our Twitter followers and everybody that we follow on Twitter who's prophesized this. This is the prophecy. She is the chosen one. All right, next, Sting comes out, talks some shit. Ricky Starks comes out,
Surprise!
talks some shit.
I'm over this.
Yeah, If you can't tell, I am too. And then the highlight of the whole thing, we got to see the Scorpion Deathlock.
That was cool. I
haven't seen one of those in 5 years.
I mean, that was good to see.
And then Hobbs and Hook, break out, and Team Taz attacks. Blah blah blah. Darby comes out. Blah blah blah.
This whole thing does nothing for Darby. Like I'm ready, just like I'm ready for Miro to move on. I'm ready for Darby. How about Miro and Darby feud after this? That I want to see, because this is nothing for the TNT title. It is nothing for Darby. Darby hasn't wrestled in 2 months? Mm-hmm. Something stupid like that. Maybe not. It's not been that long, but
it feels like it. It feels like forever.
It feels like it's just get it over with. Let's go.
So at Revolution will be the first time in forever. We'll get to see him wrestle. All right. So then after this was the face of the Revolution qualifying match between Max Caster and Dark Order's 10. And I, of course, as a Dark Order hopeful member, damn it, 5. Yeah, all in on 10 winning. I thought this is where 10 wins and goes on, everything like that. Matt Caster comes out and does some decent rapping there. I thought his diss tracks, I'm coming around to his diss track stuff.
Oh, you are? I'm all in on him.
Yeah, at first I'm like,
Max.
this is dumb, and then now I'm like, okay, it's getting witty. I'm really appreciating it. So this match was incredibly short again. Like I said, the matches weren't the thing for this one. So cut towards the end, 10 and Caster going at it a little bit. 10's on, hanging outside the ropes, and out of nowhere comes one of the Hybrid 2, Jack. He comes out.
Evans.
Thank you, Jack Evans comes out. I just wrote Jack, and he hits him with the boombox, and next thing you know, Caster wins. Caster is going on to the face of the Revolution.
I was surprised, but happily. I mean, both of them did a good job in the match. It was short. It was a short, but it was young talent. Short, but it was a good showcase for both of them too.
Yeah, so then right after the match, Matt Hardy gives Jack Evans $4,200 for screwing over the Dark Order.
An envelope that has written as big as it can and still be read, $4,700. It was good.
Yeah.
It's 47, not 42, by the way. It went up this week.
Oh, sorry. I thought it said 42. So then Matt Hardy makes his entrance into the ring, and then Mark Quinn joins him for the main event of the night, if you will, and it is against none other than Hangman Page and my favorite member of the Dark Order, who did a great Billy Madison reference on Twitter, if you follow him, and John Silver. That whole, getting a call from Tony Khan saying, yeah, you have a match against them.
Mm-hmm.
And he crosses off the Hybrid 2.
Cross Tony Khan, yeah.
It was pretty good. He puts on chapstick, doesn't put the lipstick on. But it's a great moment. All right, so this match actually was pretty damn good. It was not great. It could have been greater, but I think it was just more setting up what's going to happen coming.
I mean, Hangman and Hardy are facing off in a big match at Revolution, so you don't want to give it all away.
Yeah, but I felt like it set the tone. Again, it was a good setup.
Yeah.
So back and forth. First off, Mark Quinn did cut off his dreads, and he's back to having the 2 mohawk thingies. I don't know what you call those, but they look awesome. I love his hair when it's like that. Just calling that out. I know that's weird, but I prefer.
I do want to say this real fast, Jim. You seem to be very fixated on hair a lot. You call out hair quite a bit.
I like good hair.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I could have talked about how Nyla Rose's hair was on point. I thought it looked good.
Sure.
See, if I did.
Okay. As a bald man, I have no opinion either way.
Mine's gonna go away at some point, so I'm just enjoying other people's hair. Yeah, I know it's a weird quirk. It's fine. It's not like I'm going to chloroform somebody and put him in my van.
That's okay. I get hung up on people's outfits, so it happens. Like remember I couldn't get past Jessica Mea's outfit like 3 weeks ago because it was stupid looking. So I get it. It's cool.
Fair. All right, so this match, good match all the way around. John Silver looked great. I love me some John Silver. The more I see him, the more I just appreciate the hell out of him. So there's a spot where there was going to be a twist of fate on John Silver. He's able to counter into a backslide. Then it starts to spill outside. Silver hits a spear, which I thought was great. Silver rolls through, the twist of fate right there, then hits a big brain buster, which looked like it really hurt. Like the camera angle, or I don't know, but it looked like he might have really hurt him. Hardy kicked out at 2. Then they set up Mark Quinn to come back in, and because Hardy didn't want to take any of the bumps, and Page pops him. 1, 2, 3, it's over with a buckshot lariat. So Hangman Page and John Silver get the dubs. What'd you think of the match?
Yeah, I mean, it was. You said it. I mean, there's not really a lot to say about a lot of these matches. I've already said my piece on what I thought was the best match of the night. This was a good match too. It was not the best we've seen from any 4 of these guys, but that's to be expected. It's all about setup, and it was set up well. He had some good spots there. Mark Quinn is getting jacked, by the way. Did you notice that?
Dude, he put on like 10 pounds of muscle.
At least which is, I don't know if that's going to serve him good because he was pretty much a carbon copy of Montel Ford, and now he's getting a little more beefy. Maybe that's his, maybe whatever. More power to you, but it was just interesting. I hadn't seen him for a few weeks, and I'm just like, oh crap, he's been in the gym. Good on him. Silver's come a long way. I like that, and yeah, it was good. Overall, it was good. After the match was interesting too.
Yeah, so that's next. So right after the match, Hardy grabs a microphone, and of course, does the microphone hit the boom, boom, so you hear him hit John Silver, and then he starts attacking Hangman, and he's like, "This is all set up, blah blah blah. I'm gonna take you for everything. I'm gonna take all your money, blah blah blah. Money match, setting this up." Well, then the Dark Order hits the ring and fighting against everybody. Hybrid 2, everybody comes out. Then everybody who's going to be in the Casino Tag Team Royale just jumps in. Like, it is
so
full
many
of people. Yeah, like
so many people.
Bear Country's in it. Like, just a ton of people are in there. Like, I just want to
Austin Gunn jumps the barricade, comes up from the other side of the ring. I mean, it was so many people.
Yeah, and then that's how the night ended, was with that. So
I think that tag team battle royal could steal the show, which is a big thing to say when you have a ladder match and an exploding barbed wire death match.
There's a lot of good heat coming in this pay-per-view, and I mean agree.
the gimmick matches are just, oh my god, there's so many of them. I can't like this Sunday. How long is it going to be for one? There's so many matches. This is going to be a long night.
Well, the first match is at 6:30 is what they were saying. The pre-show first match is Thunder Rosa and Riho versus Rebel and Britt Baker.
And then they made a mention at the end when they're giving the card that Riho's hurt and there may be somebody else in her place if she can't make it. It's up to it was a weird thing to tack on.
Yeah, like they threw like the card subject to change almost.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah.
So okay.
That was weird.
So that was AEW Dynamite. I thought it was a solid show. Once again, it was more about the setups and not the matches, which is definitely different for them. But I think it's going to pay off in spades because I think Sunday is going to be banger after banger after banger after banger.
I appreciate that this was, by AEW standards, it was average show. It was a kind of middle of the road. So, but we talked about this every week. You can't have just ridiculousness, Ray Phoenix and Lance Archer and, Omega and Jarrett. You can't have that every single time. But I think they did, like you said, a great service by not having it be off the hook, because you got to breathe before you run through, something as crazy as Sunday's going to be. So I appreciate that. It's kind of your palate cleanser, getting ready for that extra spicy ramen coming in.
Yeah. So
That's a good way to put it.
that is a great way to put it. All right, so let's just run through the card real quick. I won't get predictions on all of them, but let's get predictions on the title matches, okay?
Okay.
Let's do
Cool.
that.
Did you want to ask Nick? I know you did. I know, Nick, you missed the show here tonight, but do you have any thoughts about as we've described everything?
No, I'm good.
Okay, well, good.
Wow. All those years at broadcast school paying dividends right now.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so the first match...
Is that a Major League reference?
That is a Major League reference.
Solid.
I'm full of them tonight. Like, yeah.
Love me some euchre.
So, all right. So the first match that we have on here, other than the buy-in match there that we know of, is the Casino Royal Tag Team, the Casino Tag Team Royale, which should be, like you said, it's gonna steal the show. I'm calling it now. 2 of the Dark Order teams are gonna be in it. Like, it's got everybody and their mother in this thing.
It's got everybody's in a tag team that's not already booked for the show.
Yep.
Is in this tag team. I mean, the Gun Club's there. You've got Pretty Peter Avalon and Caesar Bononi. I mean, all of them.
So you got all sorts of people. Like, this is gonna be full of people. Then, of course, you have the Matt Hardy and Hangman in a big money match. Then you have Miro and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chucky T. That should be a good match. Trenty Locks is almost healed, from what I understand, right? He should
Ooh.
he should be coming back.
Yes, please.
Then we have the Face of the Revolution ladder match, with a future TNT Championship opportunity, which I like. It's the
match is gonna
TNT. This one's
This is going to be straight fire.
Yeah.
This is gonna be straight fire.
Right now, all we know, we have Cody, Lance Archer, Penta, Scorpio Sky, and Max Caster, and still one spot remaining.
Do you think that maybe Paul White's signee is going to be the surprise sixth entrant?
I think so.
It's almost a given that whoever this person is, the sixth person, is going to be a debuting wrestler.
Yeah. All right, so first championship match of the night. Hikaru Shida versus Neo Mizunami. Who you got?
I'm taking
Mizunami.
Shida. Yeah, you taking Mizunami?
Yep.
I'm taking Shida. I don't think they're going to drop the belt off to her.
I think the prophecy, she is the chosen one. And who am I to go against the chosen one?
Okay. I'm going with Shida. I think Shida's going to keep the belt.
We'll see. All right, second championship match. Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and MJF. Who you got?
Young Bucks. Chris Jericho and MJF are going to disband.
I want the Young Bucks to win. I think Jericho and MJF will, though.
I think the Young Bucks are going to win because Sammy Guevara is going to make sure of it.
I hope that happens.
That's an excellent.
I hope I'm
that's
wrong.
an excellent point.
I got just a bad feeling that Jericho and MJF are going to win.
Yeah.
And I love them both. Don't get me wrong. I love them both. I love them both as singles or even as a makeshift kind of dysfunctional tag team. I just don't love them going up for the titles when you have FTR, who deserves a shot against the Young Bucks again, the Dark Order, who deserves a shot, Private Party. I mean,
You got so many tag teams. Yeah. Why is this one
Yeah.
that just got put together getting above everybody else? And
yeah,
I
this
think
is a gimmick tag team, but I think that they're going to give it to him because Jericho wants to hold the belt. They might drop it the next Wednesday, but that's my guess. And hopefully I'm wrong.
yeah, I really think Sammy Guevara is going to interfere. I really
That
do.
would be great. Ooh, Sammy Guevara in the six person ladder match.
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So then we have, after that, we have the street fight that no one cares about. of Brian Cage and Ricky Starks with Taz versus Sting and Darby Allin.
That's Sting and Allin are going to win that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's if you really think Sting's first match he's going to lose. Come on now. He don't do that. All right. And then finally, for the AEW World Championship in an exploding barbed wire death match, we have Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley.
Kenny Omega.
I believe Omega's going to retain. We all know that Moxie's taking time off after this. He's having a child being birthed not too distant future. Kenny Omega's going to win. There's going to be some shadiness that happens, and Kenny Omega's definitely going to win.
Totally agree. All of us are aligned there. Omega with the dubs. That's why I'm calling now too. And that is your card right now. And like I said, I can see 1, 2, 3 for sure, 4, maybe 5 banger matches, like for sure bangers out of the 8.
I mean, the only one that I think doesn't have the potential or won't get there, and maybe I'm wrong, but is the women's title match.
I thought that too. Like, I think that one, but that damn street fight, I think that's not going to be a banger. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So those are the 2 for sure. And the only other one that I am not confident on calling a banger might be that Miro Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the fact that there's actually going to be 2 women's matches, though?
Yes.
I know one's on the buy-in, but still. 2 women's matches. AEW. Yeah, look at you.
Yeah. I mean, you got 2 hours next time. Maybe you can put 2 of them in.
Just put, yeah.
So, yeah. That's our card.
Yep. So, it's going to be very exciting. So this Sunday is Revolution. Interestingly enough, I saw that they're doing a thing with Cinemark where you can go pay $20 to Cinemark.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool. That's cool. I don't know how I feel about that. Still with reminder, we are still in a pandemic.
What's that?
Yeah.
Texas doesn't believe in it.
Or Mississippi.
Yeah.
Or our illustrious governor here in Missouri, Mike Parsons, who had to take himself to Twitter to remind everybody that he has never instituted a mask mandate because, I don't know, penis envy, whatever, Mike. We're not getting political. Sorry, this is a no politics zone. But yeah, so we're gonna get together, the 3 of us at JB's house. Everybody, please watch. Give us your thoughts. We're gonna be live tweeting during Revolution, so please give us your thoughts. Whether you're watching it at home with some friends or at a Cinemark, which is that's a great idea. I'm just gonna say, pandemic or not, that's a great idea for these theaters for one to get some cash, and that'd be a cool ass atmosphere. I think.
I agree.
Get enough people in there. Yeah.
Right. I think it'd be cool as hell. Especially if you get in one of those theaters that has the comfy seats, Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all about that. So thank you guys. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday. Those are our days now. So we will talk about Revolution next week on our AEW podcast, which comes out like today on Thursdays. Next coming podcast is going to be a palate cleanser of NXT, along with the hatred that is the rest of WWE.
The sour hour.
The sour hour. Yeah. JJ's blood pressure just goes to unacceptable levels. So give us a follow. Give us a shout on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Please give us a subscribe over on YouTube if you would. You can definitely check out our audio podcasts from all of your podcast sources, as well as on YouTube. We are, and we said this before, but we definitely are in the near future going to start recording the video as well, so you can see our faces as we put them up on YouTube as well. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'll let you decide which of the three of us fits into each of those categories, but we will be doing that in the near future. So I do want to thank you guys for joining us, giving us your time. Nick, do you have anything else you want to say to the peoples?
I'm very much looking forward to Revolution. I'm looking forward to it in much the same way and the same energy that I would a vacation. Outside of AEW, I've just been kind of nonplussed with wrestling. And Revolution, I know, is going to deliver.
Jamie has a surprise for you too when you get there on Sunday. I'm not giving it up, Jamie. I'm not telling him what it is.
I already know what it is.
Well, then you suck. Know. Okay, I hate you very much. Okay.
Nice.
It would have been a good surprise. All right, we're having chicken wings. That's a surprise, people. I was pumped about chicken wings, and I left Nick hanging because we had an ice storm.
No.
But
no, I figured you got me some what's his name merch.
Well, shit, you just said you already. Well, I'm the asshole, Jamie.
Yeah, no.
Take us home, man.
Jesus, yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah, no. You did leave your girlfriend Ursula over here last time, but so you have to take her home. Love you, Ursula. Super Trooper reference for you, those who don't know what I'm talking about. All right. Anyway, before I get to my closing, please, share with your friends. We're just starting this thing out. Thank you so much for listening through everything. Let everybody know. Share the gospel of our markdom. And if you're not down with TSL, I got 2 words for you. Turkey tits.
That's perfect.
That's a good one. All right. Thanks, guys.